Sport is the closest thing that many of us will get to true contemplation, the highest of human faculties. I think when Aristotle wrote these lines, obviously in Greek, not English, it meant more than what originally comes to our minds. He was talking about not just athletically prowessed people, not just people who train their bodies, but people who train their mind, their spirit, their philosophies in life, everything. It is all one ethos. And I mention this because it contrasts so starkly to what we see in so many of our pro sports. Most recently, the baseball scandal and the realization that the professional baseball players have been using drugs for competition, and Lance Armstrong's fall from grace, and many, many more, where the primacy of the sport was not on the spirit of competition, not on the well-rounded human beings, not on the development of good sportsmanship like we have seen from the previous people up here, but to win. A single-minded focus to gain the limelight. And I mentioned this being a cross-country runner where, under the best of circumstances, it's really difficult to get people to come out and watch us run. When we do compete, which is not many times out of the year, my teammates and I run about 100 miles a week, and we run it through every type of precipitation you can possibly imagine in Portland, and I do mean every type. But it yields a special type of person. And these people occur all throughout sports, as we have seen tonight, and I've seen everywhere throughout my athletic career. But I find many of them in my cross-country sport where they do it not because they're seeking the limelight, but because they love it. And moreover, they are good at many other things, from academics to their social life to extracurricular activities across the board. It is not just about running, not just about winning, but about being a well-rounded human being. And moreover, we couldn't be and do all of that and train through the miserable weather that makes us wonder why we even do what we do without the people who support us. From Scott and my coach, Rob Connor, and Dan McGinty and Mary Beth Snell, and all of the people the unsung heroes of our athletic departments, and they're in every one of your schools, and I know it, that make this possible. And as I said, I'll be studying next year. I'm one of the lucky athletes who gets to continue on for another year, who gets to hang on to that life of an athlete for just a little while longer as a runner at Cal Poly Pomona next year. And for a brief explanation, though it's not central, regenerative studies is not about regrowing limbs, it's about urban sustainable development planning. So it's a multidisciplinary program. If you're interested, ask me later, but hence the long explanation. But what I want to say tonight is not just me as a graduate student who is ever in need of money to continue education, which I am ever so grateful for, but I stand here tonight also as a citizen of a world that is desperately in need of a new type of role model. Professional sports has taken competition and turned it into something that it wasn't originally intended to be. It is narrow-minded and singular in its focus. And what we've seen tonight in the people who get nominated for athletic scholarships and sportsman scholarships, and the people I have met, not just at my school, but across schools at the West Coast Conference, are people who are excellent students and excellent athletes, who are excellent people all around in their community, on their teams, and in their classrooms. And the students are the result of the people who lead that conference. It's an old business idiom that the employees are going to respond to the type of leadership that hires them. In a similar manner, the students and the athletes of a district and a conference are a product of the people who lead that conference. So I stand here also as a human being of this world to say thank you. Thank you for the example you set, that you not only teach athletic prowess, but go back to the original Greek philosophies and the Romans and the many before, that it was about creating a well-rounded human being. And for that, I am immensely grateful. Thank you very much.